Thanks for joining us for another episode of Good Teams Win, Great Teams Cover. This episode marks the first of our NFL Mastermind series, where we've brought 16 great content creators in the NFL world from the UK and Ireland together to battle it out in a test of ultimate NFL knowledge in the form of beloved series Mastermind. Sadly, we've not got the music, all the episode beats you'd normally get from a Mastermind because, well, we're making it. But we've done our best, and ultimately I think it's the quizzing that matters. So we will see how our 16 competitors get on. We have 4 heats, so this episode is the first one, heat 1 of 4. We will then have a grand final later on in the summer. No actual prize or trophy, but just pride in knowing that you are the most knowledgeable UK or Ireland NFL content creator that was willing to take part in our series. We've got 4 fantastic people joining us for Heat 1. We've got Neil from the Talkin podcast. We're going to get into some Jets history with Neil as a big New York Jets fan. We've got Andy Davies joining us, familiar face. Andy on the show, always welcome. We're going to talk some Super Bowl history with him as his specialist subject. We've got Fletch from the Asleep at Work Network joining us. Fletch, if you've watched the show, listened to the show, he is a big Detroit Lions fan. Unsurprisingly, that's his specialist subject. And we've got a new face joining us as well. Jay joining us from the Fourth and Gold podcast. Jay, San Francisco 49ers fan. And we've got some 49ers history questions for Jay is his specialist subject. So further ado, let's get this moved on. The way this works is the first round is 2 minutes on the contestant's chosen specialist subject. 2 minutes later on NFL general knowledge. Whoever gets the most over the 2 rounds is the winner, and they will progress to our grand final later on in the summer. So here we go. First up is Neil with his specialist subject. We're going to chat a little bit with Neil about the Talking Balls podcast and the great work those guys are doing over in Ireland. So let's take it away with Neil. First up in Heat 1 of Good Teams Win, Great Teams Cover Mastermind, we've got Neil joining us from the Talking Balls NFL show. Neil, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. How are you feeling about taking part in
I'm pretty nervous, hey, to be fair now. You know, if I don't get any of these questions right, then I'm going to look pretty stupid.
We can just delete the recording. If you blank in both rounds, we can just delete the recording and pretend it never happened.
Or can we, cut so I can look up the answer and then...
I'm pretty nifty with the editing, so I think we can do that. Yeah, I think we can make that work.
Well, that's good then. I'll be all right then.
Good. You are representing, as we mentioned there, the Talking Balls NFL show. Tell us a little bit about it. Obviously we've been following it for a while now, but anybody who hasn't seen or listened to it, tell us what the Talking Balls NFL show is all about.
Well, we're actually a network now, so we are apparently. We started about 3 years ago. We were just sitting having a couple of beers, decided, you know what, we should make a show about this where we just talk balls about American football, you know, because there's too many people. It's over analytical, whereas we just want to have a couple of beers and say, here, that guy did a bad play, or here, that was a great one, wasn't it, sort of thing. So started that off. It's been going really, really well. We've been invited by the NFL to pretty much every game around Europe and UK. We got invited to the Super Bowl, but we couldn't go because we already had other plans, which was really bad for us, because I would have loved to have went to New Orleans. But it's going very, very good. We've started another podcast with Talkin Flag with Ambra and Tika Marcucci, who are Italian national team players, you know. So it's going very, very well at the minute. And talking balls NFL just keeps going from strength to strength. So we've got a couple of wee things coming up, which is good. So.
Excellent. I'm guessing you guys get to be involved pretty heavily in the college football game that's coming over to Aviva again. We'll be there as fans. Hopefully, we'll be there as media as well, but we're definitely going to be there as fans at least.
Oh, happy days.
So it'll be nice, and we'll definitely have to come and see you guys for a beer or two, of course.
Yes, 100%. We like beer, like.
I've noticed from listening to the show, And what else have you got, guys, coming up then? Because, like I say, it sounds like a real exciting time for Talking Balls.
Well, that's it. It's just we things that we get invited to are just so surreal. Like we were invited down to Aviva Stadium to go and learn how to cheerlead with the cheerleaders, and we got Rob beat up by the mascots. So it's just like even to the Jag tags and the Jets flag football group that they've now started with the girls. It's like it's just so surreal to get down and go into these stadiums and just be able to talk balls.
It's something relatable. So that's testament to the hard work you guys have put in, building the show, building the brand.
Yeah.
So yeah, props.
And we have a couple of wee things we're going to be announcing soon. We have a couple of wee partnerships with the Tailgate hospitality place, and we've got a bar in London who has bars all over Europe and UK. And we're going to be doing a couple of wee things with them, like a couple of wee Super Bowl parties. We're going to be doing some watch parties. We're going to be doing some stuffed tailgates over during the London game. So, yeah, it's all going good.
Plenty to look forward to. And where can we keep up? Where can we follow the pages and where can we follow the channels to make sure we can keep up to date with all that stuff?
We're pretty much everywhere as Talking Balls NFL. And we do have a website coming up very, very soon. So, yeah. You type in Talking Balls NFL, we come up everywhere, on TikTok, on Insta, on X, on Threads, everywhere.
And it's a good segue. So you are obviously the resident New York Jets.
Yes.
And that you're going to be tackling the New York Jets' recent history as your specialist subject. How did you become to be a Jets fan in the first place, Neil?
It's actually a mad story. I went over to New York about 15 years ago, and I was just getting into American football and was thinking about who my team's going to be, sort of thing. And the airline lost my luggage as I was going over to New York for St. Patrick's Day, and I needed a green jersey or a green top to wear during St. Patrick's Day. Went into a shop, and they were selling a Tim Tebow jersey for $10, I think it was. I was like, that'll do me. And that's how I became a Jets fan.
What a great story, actually. Good stuff. And it's been nothing but joy and success ever since.
No, it has not. No, it has not. It's been very, very hard times, just as the saying goes, just end the suffering sort of thing. JETS,
Well, maybe that'll be the case in 2025. Who knows?
See, that's the thing. They get my hopes up every year. Like with the Aaron Rodgers thing 2 years ago, it was, yes, Aaron Rodgers, brilliant. Tears his Achilles. Then it's like, oh, Aaron Rodgers, brilliant. The next year, no, just not to be. Now we're all gonna
just maybe brighter days ahead under Aaron Glenn. We'll see.
We're all getting hyped with this Justin Fields thing now, and I'm trying not to.
Well, it's a good way. It's a good way to be. Like if the expectations are low and then they over deliver, then
that's my thought process this year. Yes, we're not going to do well, and then somehow they will do well. It'll be brilliant.
And this might be the year to break the playoff hoodoo. Who knows?
Well, hopefully, we can only dream.
It was pretty challenging not just to write questions about the New York Jets' recent history that are just tinged in misery. So that was quite the task in preparing this for you, Neil.
Yes. Well, in terms of like recent history, like you ask me questions like of other random things like the all-time leaders and all that kind of. I could tell you them. But if you're looking to know what happened 20 years ago on some certain player, I wouldn't have a clue.
We've narrowed it down for you, but the specialist subject you put in kind of the last 10 years, so 2015 to 2025, history of the New York Jets. So that's what we've gone with. So hopefully we've set it up right and you'll have a successful specialist subject round. We'll get into it. 2 minutes. I'm timing and reading the questions and noting down how many you get. So this could be crazy at the same time, but we'll get through it. And as per traditional Mastermind rules, obviously you can say answer if it's a correct answer. I'll tell you what it is there, and then if you pass, we'll cover it off at the end, and then we'll see how many you get, and then we'll roll on into the general knowledge round and see how you do there as well.
Ooh, aye, no problem. I'll want to get a drink.
Before we jump in, how are the other guys expecting that you're gonna do on this? I'm sure you've kind of had a little bit of chat in the background, and how are they sort of feeling you're gonna get on?
They seem to think that I am sort of like a savant.
Okay,
in certain
cool.
things, like, so, like, and compared to them more than anything, whereas they were like, yeah, thank God we're not doing that.
Good stuff. Excellent. Well, look, you've been the one that's been bold enough to step up to the plate
Yes,
to represent the Talking Balls NFL show. So credit for that already. You're already winning.
thank you. Happy
However
days.
it goes from here is just a bonus. But we'll put 2 minutes on the clock. We don't have a clock on the screen, so I will just
Oh,
let you
brilliant.
know when the time has ended. Sadly, we're not a fully fledged actual quiz show with all the necessary tools, but it'll be 2 minutes, and I'll shout time when we get to it. If I have started a question as we get to the end, I of course will finish it, and then we'll wrap up from there. Are you ready to go, Neil?
No,
No.
but I'll go anyway.
I'm ready, to be fair. It's the first time I've played quiz host, so I think we'll be good though. Right, 2 minutes on the last 10 years of the New York Jets.
God damn.
Time starts now. Who was appointed the head coach of the New York Jets ahead of the 2015 season?
Todd Bowles.
Correct.
God damn.
Yes, the Jets acquired wide receiver Brandon Marshall via trade from which NFC team?
The Chicago Bears.
2 for 2. Which college did 2018 third overall pick Sam Darnold come out of?
LSU. No.
USC.
Yeah.
Who was the Jets' leader in receiving yards for the 2018 season?
We'll go Brandon Marshall.
It's not Robbie Anderson or Robbie Chosen.
Really?
The Jets lost 9 of their last 10 games to finish the 2018 season. Who did they beat in that one game on that run in Week 14?
Probably the Patriots.
Buffalo Bills.
God damn.
After starting 2019 0-4, the Jets won their first regular season game under head coach Adam Gase by beating which NFC East team in Week 6?
I don't know. Pass?
We'll come back to that one. In 2022, Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, and which other quarterback threw for more than 1,000 passing yards for the Jets?
Simeon?
It was Mike White.
Oh!
Who was the Jets' leading tackler in the 2016 season?
2016, the Brickashaw Ferguson?
David Harris.
God damn.
Which AFC team did Le'Veon Bell sign with when he was released from the Jets during the 2020 season?
I want to say the Chiefs.
It was the Chiefs, yeah. Which Jets defensive player was the sole Pro Bowler from the 2016 season?
The Brickashaw?
Leonard Williams.
God damn.
John Morton replaced which former NFL head coach as the Jets offensive coordinator ahead of the 2017 season?
Rex Ryan.
It was Chan Gailey, the former Cowboys and Bills coach. So I think we got, so Todd Bowles, Bears for Marshall, and the Chiefs for Le'Veon Bell. The one pass, it was the Dallas Cowboys who the Jets.
Oh, God.
Yeah, my team as well, the Cowboys, yeah. So the Jets started 0-4 and then beat the Cowboys 24-22, I think, to get the first win.
That was bad.
Yeah, tough.
That was really bad.
It's not bad. Look, you're kicking off, so who knows how it's going to go.
Yep.
But it is so, we'll save some of the other questions because I wrote a few out, but you might get to the grand final, so I'm going to need some more New York Jets questions.
Yeah.
How was it doing it?
Yeah?
How was it being on the end? How was it being in the hot seat?
Nerve-wracking, yeah. It's like 10 years ago, and then you have to try and think who was even there 10 years ago. And, so...
It's tough, especially a team that has, teams do typically in the NFL have a lot of change, but teams that haven't been very good have a lot more change, I guess, as well.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah, cool. Good stuff. Well, Neil, 3 on the board so far. I've no idea if that's good or bad at this point.
Technically, I'm the leader at the minute.
You are winning. You're winning the entire series.
Yeah, I'm leading at the moment. I'm the leader. I'm all right with that.
So you've got an opportunity to add to your score later on when we cover off general NFL knowledge. You get a bit of time to sit back now, relax, see how the others get on, and we'll come back and do the second round for you later in the show.
All right, happy days.
And we're on to our next contestant in our Heat 1 of Good Teams Win Great Teams cover Mastermind, and we've got a returning guest and great friend of the show. Andy Davies is joining us again. Andy, welcome back to the show. Different vibe completely this time. How are you feeling about taking part in our Mastermind show?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I always love coming on your show. Yeah, a bit of nerves. I think, a lot of pressure because, as someone who does cover the sport, I think if I come out of here with a really bad score, it would not look good. I've seen plenty of episodes of The Real Show where people have their specialist subjects and they get every question wrong, and it just looks so bad on the person. So I'm hoping that I can give a good account myself in today's episode.
Excellent. It's tough, right? And like this is not easy. I've had I think I much prefer to be on this side of it. I think the pleasure of being able to kind of go write all the questions and get the stuff for everybody's specialist subjects. So I'd rather do all of that than I think give it a go, I think. So yeah, a good shout to kind of take part, and we do appreciate it. Andy, you've got loads going on. I've seen you being here, there and everywhere, even though the NFL season is finished. Tell us, I suppose, what you've been up to and what you've got kind of coming up across the off-season in the build-up to the new NFL season starting in September.
Yeah, we've got quite a few off-season episodes planned ahead in May and June. Of course, we'll be going back to our season preview episodes for every team with a fan of every team. That's coming up in July and August, provided nothing gets in the way like time commitments. But certainly May and June, we're going back to our third year doing them. We're doing our third year now, where me and a guy called Sam Moulds, we rank we do 33. It might be 32 actually. There was 33 for something else, but it's 32. All 32 starting quarterbacks in the league, and we're just basically ranking from 32 to 1. And then me and another guy, Ollie Kent, who just become London Blitz, I think, linebackers coach. Me and him did a thing last year, doing again this year, where we're going to basically go through start, bench, trade with every starting quarterback, and then we have one more because it makes it the 33. So got that coming up in May as well, and I did one last year. We're hoping to do this year again where we let AI decide the episode theme. So we put it all into ChatGPT and it comes up with an episode. Last year we had things like an animal NFL draft was the main one. There was other ones as well, but all that to look forward to. And obviously season starting, hoping to be once again covering it in the media for the podcast across the pod. So London games, hopefully as a Dolphin fan, hopefully Madrid. I'll be going there regardless, I think, even if just as a fan. Obviously, loads more international games this year. Berlin, Dublin, and hopefully, Brazil or next year Australia. But just that's it at the moment. Also ramping up the football/soccer content. Just done a vlog at Allianz Arena, so check out Euro Trips for that. Started a TikTok channel for the Premier League called Andy Talks EPL. So check that out. I've already ruffled some feathers. Within day one, I basically ranked every winning Premier League manager from 12 to 1, and I got some immediate hate. So check that out as well if you like that kind of football. But other than that, just keeping up, writing more articles. I did actually write a piece literally this morning before work. With George Pickens' best 3 landing spots, and then within hours he ends up joining your team, the Cowboys. So
were the Cowboys one of the spots?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, right.
Them, the Raiders and the Titans were the 3 landing spots I had for George Pickens, either as a trade or next year's free agency. But all good at the moment. Still looking for a paid job. So anyone who is listening, who does employ people in the media work and you get paid for it as well, then please hit me up because I'm definitely want to leave my day job.
Excellent. Yeah, make sure you go give Andy a follow at Andy Davies Sport across the pod. Euro Trips, there's loads. Yeah, you're everywhere, which is great. Good stuff. Good place to be. But yes, talk to us a little bit then. We're going to start doing your specialist subject first. So 2 minutes on your specialist subject. So you just got picked the Super Bowls as your specialist subject. Why was it that, Andy, that you plucked for? Because obviously you're a big Miami Dolphins fan, of course, as well, as you mentioned. Yeah,
I think for me, the thing that because as well as I have been to every NFL stadium, but I think for me why I chose Super Bowls was because basically I was in with a friend in America, I think 2022, and I managed to name every single FA Cup and Champions League winner and who they beat. And I think most times the
Okay.
scoreline from like the year 99 to 2000, well, the current time 2022, and I managed to do it as well for Super Bowls and who won it, where it was being played. I didn't get the scoreline as much, but certainly who played
That's
who,
harder, isn't it? Yeah.
what Super Bowl number it was, and I feel like yeah, I've got a weird sort of knowledge. Not knowledge, that sounds a bit arrogant, but if I got like a weird memory for like really obscure, non-important things, that I felt like with something like that, where I did so well when I was with my friend, I felt like that was where I wanted to go by. And you know, I've watched every Super Bowl in the last 8 to 10 years. I watch a lot of America's Game, Football Life documentaries on Game Pass. So I feel like I'm hoping I can answer them all right. But I feel like that was where I wanted to go down. I could have gone down the stadium route, but even though I've been to stadiums, I don't know about the history of the stadiums as much. Apart from I don't know what year they were built, for example. These stadiums I've been to, so didn't want to go down that route. But certainly, Super Bowls, certainly matchups and all that was where I wanted to certainly go down the route of.
Nice, cool. Okay, I think hopefully this will be a test for you then, or this might just be a complete and utter breeze then. There's a mix of all aspects of the Super Bowl as well in these questions. So, yeah, we'll see how you get on. 2 minutes on the Super Bowls. I did think you were going to go for some sort of stadiums quiz, just because first time we had you on the show was not long after you'd finished the tour around, going to all of the stadiums that you managed to do, or 30. So I thought you were going to do that. Somebody else has done something similar in terms of having a stadium specialist subject later on. So we'll see that in one of the next heats. But Andy, are you ready for 2 minutes? It's hard to just have to look at the timer and ask the questions and check the answers. So roughly 2 minutes on your specialist subject, the Super Bowls.
Let's go.
Right, you ready to roll?
Yeah.
I'll start the clock. And in true Mastermind tradition, if you pass, we'll come back to it at the end. If I start a question as the time expires, I will of course finish it. True to the show as much as we can. Right, let's roll, Andy. Best of luck. Which team won the first Super Bowl in 1967?
Packers.
Excellent. Who holds the record for the most Super Bowl wins as a player?
Tom Brady.
Which is hosted the most Super Bowls?
Miami.
Which team has the most Super Bowl appearances?
New England Patriots.
Who performed the halftime show at Super Bowl 36 in 2002?
Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson.
Ooh, it's U2. Which team was the first to win the Super Bowl as a wildcard team?
New York Giants.
It was the Oakland Raiders. Who is the youngest head coach to win a Super Bowl?
Paul McVay.
Not yet, correct. Which Super Bowl featured the infamous Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction?
Super Bowl 31.
Super Bowl 38.
Oh,
2 years after. Which Heisman Trophy winner went on to become MVP of Super Bowl 31?
Pass.
We'll come back to it. Which Super Bowl had the largest margin of victory?
Broncos against the Broncos Niners.
Correct. We'll take that one. Nice one. Which Super Bowl was the first to be played in a domed stadium?
Pass.
Back to that. Who was MVP of Super Bowl 53?
That would be Julian Edelman.
Correct. Which two teams have faced each other the most times in Super Bowl history?
Pass.
Which New York Giants player famously made the helmet catch?
David Tyree.
Excellent. Who was named MVP of Super Bowl 44 in 2010?
That would be Drew Brees.
During which pop superstar's performance at Super Bowl 59 did Left Shark become a viral sensation?
Katy Perry.
Excellent, and that's time as well.
Oh.
Andy flew through them. I nearly ran out of questions. So many. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'll take that.
That is excellent. Yeah, I think that's real good.
There's definitely more I could have got.
Um,
It's so hard on the spot. Like it's so when you watch it on
Yeah.
TV and even like doing the research, you think I've got this. And then when you're on the spot, it is tough. It is tough.
Good stuff. Well, the ones I've seen 3 passes in there. So the Heisman Trophy winner that was MVP of Super Bowl 31 was Desmond Howard. He's the kick return specialist of the Packers. Super Bowl 12 was the first one to be played inside a dome stadium. And the most times matchup in the Super Bowl, it's Cowboys Steelers have played each other in the Super Bowl 3 times.
See, I was going to go for my original thought was Cowboys against Bills because of the 2 in a row, and it's very rare you see the same team. Then I just thought it can't be that because the Bills have only played 3 teams in the Super Bowl possibly. So yeah, that one threw me off because I feel like that's one I definitely should have known, but I'm happy with that.
Yeah, 10's excellent. Yeah, 10's brilliant. Out of 10 out of 15, I think.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
pretty good.
I'll take that.
We got through 15 questions in 2 minutes. Excellent work. So Andy, take a rest. Have some time to think. We'll be back to do the general knowledge, NFL general knowledge part of that. But you've got a good score. You've got a good in with a chance of winning, I think, with that, Andy.
I'll take that. I'm looking forward to the next round. Hopefully, I can get some more right questions.
Excellent. We'll see you shortly. Next up, to take part in the first heat of Good Teams and Great Teams cover Mastermind, we're joined by returning guest and friend of the show, Fletch, from the Sleep at Work Network. Fletch, welcome back. It's not been that long since you've been on. You were on as part of our live draft coverage. How are you getting on?
Mate, all good, all good. Very much sweating it for today now. But I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, all good. Very much, really enjoyed being part of your draft coverage. Getting to, see the end of the drafting with you was really, really fun. Yeah, can't complain.
It was a long old night, and that very much in your wheelhouse, wasn't it? Being part of the creator of the Sleep at Work Network. We were on at 3:30 to 4:00 for the last kind of half a dozen picks of the first round of the draft. On Fletch, of course, you are a big Detroit Lions fan if you're watching on YouTube, and you've not obviously you've not seen what's going on. Fletch is decked up in his Lions hat and his very fresh Calvin Johnson jersey, so you've come prepared for the occasion.
Absolutely, always.
Good stuff. Yeah, if it's not a Lions jersey or hat, it's a Michigan one. All in on Detroit and Michigan.
If you ask Mrs. Fletch, I don't think I own anything that isn't Lions, Michigan, or Pistons or something in my wardrobe. I don't think I don't own anything else.
And it's been we talked about we did the draft the other draft night, that was like 2 weeks ago. How are you happy with how it kind of all played out for the Lions in the end, with kind of who they ended up with?
Yeah, I mean, look, I said to you on the show that where I wanted us to go was edge, and that's what I wanted. That's the primary place that I wanted to see us go. But again, as we said on the night, it's a really nice position to be in because Brad Holmes has drafted so well since he's been here that I just have so much confidence in the process that they have and what they do, and I can say that while yes, I'd like us to do one thing, and I have the people that I want and I really like. At the end of the day, I'm not a GM, and I'm not the expert. I'm just a fan with some opinions, as we all are. And we've seen over the last couple of years, more than anything, just how little we actually know about the draft. So I always walk away now. I can walk away now saying, do you know what? Even if that's not what I would have done or how I feel like I would have gone, I'm confident that what the decisions that were made were the right ones, and what's going to come of it is hopefully going to be something positive. So yeah, overall, I'm happy. I can't complain. I really can't. We're in a very fortunate position right now, being the Detroit Lions. As I'm sure by some of the questions that are going to get thrown at me, it's not always been that way.
Yeah, I mean, there is, as your specialist subject is going to be the Detroit Lions. Yeah, there's going to be a look back at some history, of course, but the Lions are creating new history now which is what matters, on the hunt for the elusive Super Bowl, of course. And yeah, a great position to be, as you mentioned. Like, there's not very many glaring needs. It's not like they are a poor team anymore, where you've got holes everywhere that you're trying to fill. It's just fine tuning now, isn't it? Finding those bits that are going to make the difference to push you over the edge, which is very nice spot to be in. And Fletch, you have got so much going on as always. So with the Sleep at Work Network, College Football UK, Hurdle Line, what have you got coming up over these next few weeks?
Yeah, so really exciting. At the Sleep at Work Network, we're trying to push a couple extra pods coming through. Just kind of getting them wrapped up. We've got in fact, no, I'll give you kind of a little bit of an exclusive. We have a Michigan Wolverines one on its way. Our now second team dedicated one, but the first one in college football. That's going to be team dedicated. We've just got the Pats touchback on board, which has been really, really exciting. I'm so glad to have them on. Even if they are Pats fans, we'll allow it because they are all really, really nice guys. We've obviously with Hurdle the Line, we're just plodding through with those guys, doing going from strength to strength, it feels like. And then the college football, this is the most exciting one because college football is in just such one of those positions at the moment that it's so exciting to talk. Every week there's something new to talk about, and it's so big and so vast and so crazy, the world of college football. But throughout June we've got a mini series planned, which is going to be, it's a lot of work, not quite as much work as you put in on this. So but we're doing a mini series, and we're going to reinvent college football with the craziness of the way it's going at the moment. 4-part mini series going from, I'm sure if you are into college football, you might know that the whole problems with the NCAA, and I know you are, but just thinking of the people at home, if you are into college football, you might know the problems with the NCAA and certain schools and certain conferences wanting to pull away from the NCAA and kind of repay. If you all remember the Super League back a few years ago, where major Premier League clubs wanted to leave the Premier League and go into the Super League and do all that sort of stuff. So we're going to kind of reinvent, if that happened in college football, how would it look? What would the governance be like? How are we going to restructure it? And all those sort of things. Not that we're advocating for a Super League, but just it's a fun little project that actually we've already got some brilliant guests lined up to be part of it, and really exciting. And that one's probably the most fun going forward at the moment.
Excellent, that'll be ace. I'll make sure I catch that for sure. That sounds like it'll be some good fun. The landscape of college football changed a lot in the last few years, so that'll be ace. Very much looking forward to that. So yes, make sure you're going following Fletch at Lions Guy Fletch, Sleep at Work Network, Hurdle the Line, College Football UK. Go follow it all. Fletch, how are you feeling about doing this, by the way? We're about to hit your specialist subject, which is the Detroit Lions. How are you feeling?
Everyone knows me. I'm sure Mrs. Fletch will absolutely attest to. I'm just the coolest and calmest person at all times. Put me in a crisis, I'm the perfect person. But again, as Mrs. Fletch can attest to, I've been having nightmares now for 3 weeks. I've cried twice at work just because I'm so scared, mate. I'm joking. I'm really excited. It's a really cool concept. And look, I said previously that some of the concepts that you guys come up with are just so fun and so exciting and engaging, going all the way back to the Greg's draft that you did, which I still I can't go into Greg's without thinking of it, which is great working in the city centre, by the way, because about 15 Greg's everywhere I look. But I'm really excited, and then you decided to tell me who I'm up against in my heat.
Has that piled the pressure a little bit?
Big guns. So my whole thing here right now is just don't look silly in front of everyone.
Don't make a tit yourself, yeah.
Yeah, just don't make a tit of myself. That's it. I'm happy. Anything above that, I'm happy.
All right. I've got faith in you, Fletch. I think you're going to do quite well. So let's see how we get on. Are you ready for 2 minutes on your specialist subject, which is the Detroit Lions, as we've mentioned?
I am, yes. Bring it.
Good stuff. As per Mastermind, if anything you pass, we'll come back to at the end to to reveal the answer. And yeah, if I end up starting a question once the 2 minute expires, I'll finish it.
Yeah.
As per Mastermind. But sadly, we don't have the sound effects to let us know. It's just me with a stopwatch. So not quite as... The budget didn't stretch that far for this. But it's only the first one. Maybe next time we will. Right, Fletch, 2 minutes on the Detroit Lions. Ready to roll?
Go. I'm good.
Okay, 2 minutes starts now. In which year were the Detroit Lions established?
1934.
1930. Who is the Detroit Lions all-time leader in passing yards?
Matthew Stafford.
It is Matthew Stafford. Who was the head coach of the Detroit Lions during their 0-16 season in 2008?
Marty... Can't remember his last name. Damn it. Pass.
That's cool. Which Detroit Lions player holds the record for the most career points scored?
Is it Matt Prater?
Jason Hansen. Right idea, though. What is the name of the Detroit Lions mascot?
Rory.
Rory, correct. Which Detroit Lions player was the first to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Bobby Lane.
It's Dutch Clark. Who was the Lions' first round pick in 2022?
To Aidan Hutchinson.
Aidan Hutchinson. Which Detroit Lions player set an NFL record with 2,053 rushing yards in a single season?
Barry Sanders.
It is Barry Sanders. Who was the Lions' permanent head coach before Dan Campbell?
Gotta make me say his name, Matt Patricia.
Yeah, sorry about that. Which Detroit Lions quarterback led the team to their first playoff appearance in the Super Bowl era?
Oh, damn it. Pass, can't remember.
Who was the Lions head coach during their 1952 and 53 NFL championship wins? That was a mean question.
Pass.
When did the Lions move to Ford Field?
2004.
2002. And last question, what was the Detroit Lions' original name before they became the Lions?
The Portsmouth Spartans.
Spot on. Good finish. Strong finish.
So
how was that?
With that one, by the way, this you caught me out on that first one. So obviously they were established as the Portsmouth Spartans in 1930,
yeah.
and then in 1934 became the Detroit Lions. So obviously, like you're right, but yeah, it caught me
That's
out a little
fair,
bit on
actually.
that one.
That's a poorly worded question. That's a fair feedback. That is a poorly worded question.
But
so we might give you that on review.
We're gonna go. We go into New York. We go into the officials.
Yeah, we're gonna send it in. I think we're gonna give you that on review because it is actually, in hindsight, a terrible question. Because you're right. As the later question said, Portsmouth Spartans was the original name.
Wait, hang on.
For the first 4 years, and then it was the Lions. So yeah, you can have that, Fletch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the first round. That's pretty good going.
I say if I had a little red challenge flag, I'd have thrown it in.
Yeah.
But no, it was
We'll give it you.
it was good. It was good. I liked it. So, a nice mix of questions. It showed that there are a couple of things that maybe I've overlooked or not properly looked at, which is nice. It's just nice to know. It was a really good mix of questions. A very well
It's
prepared.
90 odd years of history, so it is tricky. Like, it is a lot. So yeah, and that's the special subjects about, like, maybe it is better to keep it broad because you might get friendlier questions, whereas if you like narrow it down to like, the last 20 years of the Lions, the questions would have to be so specific.
Exactly.
It would be really hard. So yeah.
Exactly.
A couple of ones it passed on. You nearly got the name of the coach as well, so it was Rod Marinelli, who was the coach of the 0-16 season. You were right there. You had it right there. It was on the tip of your tongue. Greg Landry was the quarterback that led them to their first playoff appearance in the Super Bowl era. And the old NFL championship winning coach from the 50s was Buddy Parker.
Buddy Parker. That's.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, excellent. I think 7's pretty good, and we got to 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Yeah, 7 out of 12. Better than 50%.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take being. I was only a couple of years out on Ford Field, which is again, I think it's one of those where, close, which is what it is. But
Yeah, pretty close. The year ones are tough questions, aren't they? Because you can just be like, yeah, in and around, and that's why we've tried to only sprinkle them in and not have too many because they're real kind of tough to get. But yeah, excellent work. So I think 7 sets you up. 7 sets you up that you're still in with a chance. I think 7's a solid score, like to go into the general knowledge round with. So Fletch, we're going to leave you to sweat while we finish off the first round, and we get round to the general knowledge round, and we'll have you back shortly. See if you can finish off strong.
no worries.
And we're on to our fourth and final competitor for Heat 1 of the Good Teams Win Great Teams Cover Mastermind series. We're joined by Jay from the Fourth and Gold podcast. Jay, welcome to Good Teams Win Great Teams Cover. We've been a long-time follower of yours on the show. Great to have you on, and welcome. First of all, how are you getting on?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Paul, for having us on. Really intrigued by your idea, and it's definitely great to connect. Not enjoying the off season; it's always long, but this is definitely a welcomed distraction from it.
Excellent. And we're not just got yourself, we're going to have Paul jumping on as well from your show. He's going to give us some insight. He's got some great Pittsburgh Steelers knowledge, so we're going to get him in Heat 3, I think. So you're up first. Any pressure kind of being the first of the guys to jump on?
Oof, yeah, I mean, I sort of said with chess that 49ers would be my topic, and I feel like now I've sort of put myself under pressure.
I think you're good. I think relax will make you feel, at ease, and then, like I say, your sort of knowledge and fandom will shine through. I think like everyone's felt a little bit nervous as well. Like there is obviously this is for fun and is not meant to put pressure on anybody. But like when I've been recording some of these, Jay, I've kind of seen people look like they're in a real stressful moment. And hopefully not the same for you, though. As we just mentioned there, you are obviously one of the hosts of the Fourth and Gold NFL podcast. Do you want to just give us a little bit of insight into what Fourth and Gold is all about and where we can watch and listen to you guys?
Yeah, definitely. So, it really started out just 3 absolute NFL, super fans. We love the game. We love talking about the game on a daily basis. And, we've been going for just over 2 years, I'd say. It all started really, we just said, well, we love the game. We love talking about it. Why don't we do this and show it to everyone, who wants to listen? So that's where, we're very early in our journey, but just love the game. So if you want to check us out, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, and TikTok. So check us out, Fourth and Gold.
Good stuff. Definitely go give the guys a follow, a listen, a watch. I love what you've been doing as well. I think I've seen more in the last, you mentioned off air. The clips along with the highlights, I think, are really cool. That's like a great way to kind of produce content. So, yeah, really like what you guys are doing, and looking forward to seeing what you do more as we head into the 2025 season, although it feels such a long time away. We kind of touched on it. You are a San Francisco 49ers fan. That's going to be your specialist subject. That's roughly 15 years in the Niners. How did you get to being a Niner fan, Jay?
Well, funnily enough, I've always been a football, i.e. soccer fan. And my dad was pressing me. He just basically said, look, the games are in London. Come along with me to watch a game. So, 15, 16 years ago, I went to my first game. I think it was the Patriots versus the Rams. It was just a one-sided battering, as you might expect from the Patriots of those days. But I couldn't decide on a team. And I sort of said to my dad, well, I'm into it now. Who am I going to support? And of course, he was a lifelong 49ers fan. So that made it an easier choice for me. And yeah, my love for the Niners just has grown and grown. I haven't seen a Super Bowl win. We've come close. But regardless of that, love watching the team. It's a team I think about pretty much every hour of the day that I'm awake. So that's how it came to be, and long may it continue.
Excellent. Yeah, they've had a good, to be a San Francisco 49ers fan over like the last 15 years or so. It's not been a bad run, has it? Everything but the
Everything
Super Bowl
but
championship. Yeah, 3 Super Bowls in that time
yeah.
appearances, I think. Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
There might be some questions about this stuff. I don't want to.
Okay. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
But yeah, it's to get to 3 Super Bowls, and they've had pretty consistently solid teams. Obviously, a few down years in between. How are you feeling, kind of going into next season? Just because obviously off the back of a bit of a down year in 2024, off the back of obviously Super Bowl loss. But yeah, how are you feeling heading into 2025?
It feels like a retooling year. So we had to get younger. We were carrying a lot of top heavy contracts. Sadly, my favourite player of this era, Debo, is gone. I understand it. I definitely understand it. But certainly on defense, we lost a host of guys. Dre Greenlaw, the heartbeat of the defense in a way. I know Fred Warner is obviously our quarterback on defense, but Greenlaw was kind of our emotional leader, and the defensive line. It feels like we were sort of left with just Nick Bosa, with Floyd going, with the Gravedigger Hargrave going. So I don't think it's a championship run this year. We've got a lot of young guys in, and of course we've got this the big contract hanging over us. So a lot will depend on how that is structured, I think, to see where we go. But if healthy, the offense is still, very, very good, I think. And we'll see what happens with the defense. It's going to be a learning curve.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I can't believe to Brock Purdy's contract needs to be done. George Kittle obviously got his bag last week, or was it this week? It wasn't long ago, a few days ago, at time of recording.
Yeah, last week I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they're in a really good spot, and obviously that defense has got a youth injection with all the draft picks that were spent on it. So yeah, I'm expecting the Niners to be good. It's under Shanahan, it's rare that they will have back-to-back rough years. So fully expect them to see them in the mix. One of our other hosts, Joe, loves to hear that because he's also a big San Francisco
Oh,
fan.
great, good stuff.
So yeah, we're a 49ers friendly podcast, so that's cool. Jay, are you ready? We get 2 minutes on your specialist subject, which is roughly the 2010 to 2025 period of the San Francisco 49ers, with some extras thrown in as well.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You ready to roll?
Yep, let's go for it.
So we do it in the true Mastermind tradition of, obviously, if you pass, we'll come back to it at the end. If you give us an incorrect answer, we'll tell you the answer there and then. And if I start a question when we get to the end of 2 minutes, I'll finish it just like in the show. So we're doing the full rip-off.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Right, excellent. Let's go. 2 minutes on the clock. Let's go, Jay. Who was the head coach of the 49ers at the start of the 2010 season?
Ooh, Mike Singletary.
Correct. In which year did the 49ers move to Levi's Stadium?
Ooh. I want to say 2013.
2014.
Oh.
So close to those years. Who was the Niners' starting quarterback in the 2012 NFC Championship game?
Alex Smith.
It's Colin Kaepernick.
Was it Oh, that was 2011.
Which team did the 49ers face in Super Bowl 47?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Correct. Which 49ers player finished runner-up behind Von Miller for NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2011?
Believe it was Patrick Willis.
Alden Smith.
Oh,
just
Smith.
behind Miller. Who replaced Jim Harbaugh as the coach of the Niners in 2015?
Jim Tomsula.
Correct. In which year did the Niners draft defensive end Nick Bosa?
2019.
Correct. Which team did the 49ers defeat to win the NFC Championship in the 2019 season?
The Green Bay Packers.
Correct. Deebo Samuel was selected in the second round of the 2019 draft from which college?
Ooh. I'm going to pass on that one.
Pass, we'll come back to that one. Who did the 49ers trade 2021 first round pick Trey Lance to?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Correct. Who was the 49ers starting QB in the 2016 season opener?
Brian Hoyer.
It was Blaine Gabbert.
It was
Line of
Gabbert.
thinking. Wide receiver Anquan Boldin spent 3 years with the Niners in 2013 to 15. Which team did he play for before the Niners?
The Ravens.
Correct. And who played the Super Bowl halftime show in Super Bowl 47 when the lights went out?
Oh, was it Beyonce?
It was Beyonce. That takes us beyond 2 minutes. What a great run. I think you've done really well there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.
I had a couple in there that a few banana skins, like.
The Kaepernick one is because he replaced Alex Smith partway through the season, didn't he, ultimately? So that's tricky with that one. The one you passed, just one pass, which college Deebo Samuel went to? South Carolina?
South Carolina.
When you mentioned, when we were talking, that Devo was obviously my favourite player, I was like, oh, well, this is going to be, he's definitely going to get this one. But tough question, 6 years ago, and it's hard to remember all the colleges. But I think that's a solid first round.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can count, just to make sure I can count properly. But 8 correct answers. 8 or 4. It's 8 out of 13 questions. I think that's pretty good going, to be
I'll
fair.
take that. I'm happy to get some right, so...
Yeah. I think that's a solid score on the board. I think it keeps you in position with a good general knowledge round right in the mix there to be the winner of the heat, Jay. So,
Okay.
Excellent. And how did it feel doing it?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, I got to say.
Good. Well, time to have a bit of a rest. Maybe get some last-minute NFL general knowledge crammed in there. And we'll have you back in a few minutes' time to take on the final round, the general knowledge round. We'll see you in a few, Jay.
Good stuff.
We've got Neil back from the Talking Balls NFL show, looking to add to his tally of 3 points from his his New York Jets. Last 10 years specialist subject round. Neil, bit of time to reflect. Yeah, how do you feel the first part went, and how are you feeling about part 2?
I'm hoping I'm going to do better in part 2 because hopefully I can't do any worse.
Well, 3 on the board, opportunity to add to that, I think, as well. So, and post a score, to be challenged, and it's always good to get in the clubhouse with a score, and when the others are still toiling.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, we are going to do just general NFL knowledge now. It's a bit of a wider range of things. I think we will see how you get on, and see what that total is at the end for the others to try and beat.
Brilliant.
Ready? All right. 2 minutes on the clock. General NFL knowledge, round 2.
Boom, boom, boom.
Here we go. Because I can't license the music. I'm definitely getting shut down if I try and license the music. Let's go. In which year did the NFL and AFL officially merge?
67.
1970. Very
Oh,
close.
God damn it.
Who was the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL draft?
God. Pass.
God, I thought you had it then for a second. Who holds the record for the longest field goal in NFL history?
Oh, the kicker from the Cowboys, Aubrey.
It's Justin Tucker.
Oh, fluffer.
Which team did Jerry Rice spend the majority of his career with?
The 49ers.
It is San Francisco 49ers. Which team did Peyton Manning win his second Super Bowl with?
The Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Excellent. Which year did the Houston Texans join the NFL?
2001.
Close 2002.
Damn it!
Which team did Randy Moss play for when he set the single season touchdown reception record?
Probably the Patriots.
It was the Patriots. In which year did the NFL introduce the salary cap?
2004.
It was 1994.
God damn it! Late there.
Who was the MVP of Super Bowl 52 between the Eagles and the Patriots?
Tom Brady.
Nick Foles. Who was the first player to rush for over 2,000 yards in a single NFL season?
Tomlinson.
It was O.J. Simpson.
God damn it.
Which team did Brett Favre play for before joining the Green Bay Packers?
Who did Brett Favre play for before the Packers?
Before the Packers, yeah.
Pass.
What is the name of the trophy awarded to the Super Bowl champions?
The Lombardi.
Lombardi. Which team did the greatest show on turf refer to?
Say that again.
Which team did the greatest show on turf refer to?
Oh, I don't know. Pass.
Cool, pass. That's the end. Just realised. Got over a little bit of time. But so that great show on turf was the St. Louis Rams. Brett Favre used to play for the Falcons before the Packers.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus. How did I not know these things?
And the other one pass. Joe Burrow was the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL draft.
Yep, I was going there, and I was like, no, I think he was later.
I was trying to remember the quarterbacks, isn't it? Because I guess it's there's been so
Yep.
many.
Oh, God, I was terrible there too. Holy crap.
7 on the board. So four from general, 3 from specialist subject. So 7 on the board. Someone's got to go beat it.
Yes. God. It's very nerve-wracking.
It is like I can't imagine. Like I think I know a lot, right? And I'll say, but like I imagine being on the other end of it, I'll just go to absolute pieces.
That's right. I was saying to the boys, I was like, you know what? See if somebody asks me all these questions, the only thing that gets me is dates.
Yeah, that's hard.
Knowing the right date of things.
Yeah.
And I can never remember it.
Yeah, that's fair. Try to keep only a couple of those in. But yeah, cool. So 7 on the board. Neil, how are you feeling now it's over? You feel a bit relieved?
A wee bit, yeah. I'm glad I got more than one.
Yes, that's a good start. Say 3 in round 1 on your special subject, 4 in round 2, 7 on the board. But like I say, no idea how the others have been doing, so...
I'm also glad that I didn't get higher as well, or else people would think that we're like talking sense or something, or we're not talking balls.
So this is good for the branding of the show.
Yes, I think that was my game plan all along.
Good stuff. I think the guys, regardless of how well you do or don't do on Good Teams and Great Teams Cover Mastermind, people should definitely be going checking out the Talking Balls show. So make sure you go give the guys a follow, give them a watch and a listen. It's great fun. Last shout, promotion. Get it in, Neil. Where can the people find your show?
Find us everywhere. We're everywhere on socials, YouTube, Spotify, Talking Balls, NFL, Talking Balls Network. Give us a shout. Thank you.
Good stuff. And we'll make sure we come and see you when we're over in Dublin in August for the Aer Lingus College Football Classic.
Yes.
Grab a pint and talk balls.
100%. Hit us up.
Good stuff. Neil, appreciate you coming on. We'll see if your score is enough to win. And who knows, you might be getting through to the grand final.
Brilliant. Thanks for having me, boss. Appreciate it.
We welcome back Fletch to Good Teams and Great Teams Cover Mastermind. Heat 1, you're about to complete your second round, Fletch, which is NFL General Knowledge. How are you feeling after the first one? You've got 7 points on the board after your Detroit Lions round. How are you feeling going into this part 2?
Ready. Just took some cod liver oil for brain function. We're gonna add fish fingers for tea. So it's all brain power.
Good stuff. I love the dedication. You're in the mix here. I say 7 on the board. So yeah, strong finish, and you've got a chance, I think, of winning the heat with that score. How would you say your general NFL knowledge is?
I'd say we're both about to find out this one. It's okay. Not the best, not the worst.
Okay, cool. The NFL. It's just such a vast. Yeah. And I've had to sit and write 500 questions, so there's a lot of variety in here. So
if I was to ask you how your NFL general knowledge is, you are probably you probably know more than Roger Goodell at this point.
Now, probably not before this endeavour, but yeah, probably good now.
Can we do a hashtag Paul for commish?
I would happily take on the responsibility and the salary that comes with it.
If Manchester doesn't get a game after this, I will be livid.
Every week, 18 games in Manchester, one every NFL week. I guess they'd have to be at City though, wouldn't they? Because I don't think we could have them at Old Trafford.
Old Trafford, when the new stadium's built.
Or the new one that looks like it's going to look like a giant Butlins. Yeah, maybe in there. Cool, good stuff. Right, 2 minutes on general knowledge of the NFL. You've got 7 on the board already, Fletch.
Yep.
Let's roll. You ready to go?
Let's go.
Excellent. Yeah, he's ready. Let's go. Who was the MVP of the 2018 NFL season?
Patrick Mahomes.
Correct. Which team traded away Eli Manning during the 2004 NFL draft?
LA Chargers.
Yeah, LA Chargers, San Diego Chargers,
Oh, yeah,
LA
yeah.
Chargers. Which player has the most career punt return touchdowns?
Oh, that's a good one. Pass.
Pass. Which team lost in Super Bowl I?
Oh, not on this, but I'll post up about this. Pass, I can't remember.
Who was the head coach of the Miami Dolphins during their perfect season in 1972?
Oh, can I go back? Was it Chiefs?
It was the Chiefs, but you've passed.
Okay. So go on.
Who was the coach of the Dolphins during their 72 perfect season?
Don Shula. No.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Which player has the most career receiving touchdowns?
Is it? I want to say Tony Gonzalez. Probably wrong.
It's Jerry Rice. Which team did the Steel Curtain defense belong to?
Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Which year, or what year, did the Washington Commanders last win the NFC East?
2011? No.
2020.
Oh,
Which NFL team plays its home games at Highmark Stadium?
Bengals?
It's the Bills. And last one, which team in the NFC South has the most Super Bowl victories?
Buccaneers.
Correct. Yes. So I'll go back and give you the Chiefs one as well because you did get it before I asked you the question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the second round, 7 in the first, 13 on the board. Fletch. How are you feeling?
I'm annoyed with a couple of them. I'm annoyed with a couple of them, and it's I'm happy with a couple of them that I got in the end. Things like the Chiefs in Super Bowl I. That's something that I'd put up on AAW a few weeks ago, and that's.
No.
But again, I think I should have known it off the top of my head, but again, probably just something that I've just put up and pushed to the back. And then Highmark Stadium, should have bloody known that one, but sometimes remembering these sponsorship names and they change on it.
Yes. That's true. Orchard Park, but yeah, it's Highmark Stadium for the Bills. Devin Hester was the punt return, most career punt returns. Devin Hester, but yeah, and maybe one you'd like back, career receiving touchdowns, Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
13? I think that's a good score. Again, so how many questions did we get through? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got through 10 questions in the general knowledge thing, so you got 7, obviously you got 6 out of 10, so 60%, pretty good
13
going.
out of 22 overall.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Above 50%, so I feel like, again, there are a couple of them that I'm annoyed with and probably definitely should have got, but overall, I've not made a tit out of myself, so 10 out of 10 would come back, and and do again. Thank you.
Mission accomplished. Yeah, didn't look like a tick. Good work. Fletch, thank you very much. I think probably the key. I think I'm just. Thanks very much for putting your head up to get shot at, because this, like, it is, as much as it is relaxed. There is no actual pressure, but like there is pressure.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So yeah, thank you very much for coming on and do it. We'll see if it's enough to be a winning score. We shall see. But Fletch, again, just a reminder, where can we find you? We obviously we know you are across many places. Where can we find you and all your great work?
Well, on social media, you can find me at Lions Guy Fletch on just about any of them. It's nicely well branded throughout. No one else has taken Lions Guy Fletch, so very very niche name. It clearly. In real life, you'll probably now find me crying in a corner, getting really annoyed because of the questions that I should have been able to answer, being consoled by Mrs. Fletch saying you tried and it's okay. So social media, Lions Guy Fletch on just about any of them: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Although I need to start getting better at posting on there, to be honest.
It's rough. The only thing we put on TikTok are when the Byron's dog makes game picks. That's pretty much the only thing we post on our TikTok.
Everyone loves them. Everyone loves him. My daughter has just kind of pinned her colours to the mast in terms of an NFL team, so maybe there's something there. People like pets and people like adorable children. So maybe there's something there, but we'll see.
Cheat codes, aren't they? Just cheat codes in this game.
Definitely. Although she's an 8-year-old girl, I'll give you one guess as to which team she's chosen to pin her colours to the mast on.
You go on, Fletch. You got to do a better job here, of, like, steering her away. You got to steer her away from Kelsey and Taylor and Pat Mahomes.
I mean, yeah, but on the other hand, right, and I'll say this just as I'm sure there's a lot of dads out there who can agree. The fact that she's actually shown an interest where for the first 7 years of her life she's barely even glanced at it and just, it's someone's name, why do you have to watch it? Is like she's asking when the Chiefs are playing. She's dead happy to have like a little Chiefs t-shirt, and the fact that she's showing a little bit of an interest in it is just I'm taking what I can get here, Paul.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that is cool.
Yin and yang. I'll take that bit of evil to go with the bit of good that's been done with it.
No, that's cool. Good stuff. Well, look, who knows? She may see the light later down the line. Who knows?
Hopefully so. I'm going to force that child to sit down and watch Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson highlights for weeks on end, and then we'll see.
That is a great way to do it. That'll work. Fletch, thanks so much for taking part. We appreciate it. Like I said, we will see back at the end of the show whether it is enough to win the heat and get through to the grand final, where you'll have to do it all again. But thanks for joining us. And everyone, make sure you go follow Fletch and the Sleep at Work Network, Hurdle the Line, College Football UK, plus the new shows that are coming out. Fletch, thanks for coming. We'll see you soon, mate.
Thank you, and good luck to everyone else in my heat as well.
Welcome back to Jay from the Fourth and Goal podcast. Jay, you're here to do the part 2, second round, which is the NFL general knowledge side of things. You scored a solid 8. I think you had a great first round there on your specialist subject, which is the San Francisco 49ers. How are you feeling heading into part 2? You feeling confident?
I feel feeling warmed up now for sure. So that was a good run.
Excellent, good stuff. I think you've got a real good score there. I think you've set yourself up to attack this second part. And like I say, good run here. You're right in the mix at the top of the leaderboard. And you could be back to do this all again in a few weeks' time for the grand final.
Good stuff.
But yeah, 8 on the board. I think you're in with a good shout. How is the rest of kind of your general NFL knowledge, would you say?
I would say balanced. Pretty balanced. But I would say, sort of 2010 onwards would be my strength. I've got a little bit of history in me, but not, I'm not from the era, so We'll see how we go.
I think you're gonna be okay here. We've got a mix, like I say, new stuff, old stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's enough here for you to get on a roll. I think that's key. I think like in your first round, just like stringing correct answers together, it gets you on a bit of a roll. And you start getting through the questions quite quickly. Then let's just hope we've got enough. I'm sure we have. Right, Jay, 2 minutes on general NFL knowledge. Ready to roll?
Let's go.
Excellent. Right, let's go. Who was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons for their defeat in Super Bowl 53?
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn, spot on. Which two teams were added to the NFL in the 1995 expansion?
Was it the Jaguars and the Texans?
It was the Jaguars and the Panthers. So close. Who was the previous head coach of the LA Chargers before Jim Harbaugh?
Brandon Staley.
Correct, Brandon Staley. Who was the first overall pick in the 1998 NFL Draft?
I want to say Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning's correct. What year did the Eagles win their first Super Bowl?
Ooh. I'm going to pass on that one.
Pass. Who was the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars during their AFC Championship appearance in 2017?
I might be getting this name wrong. Is it Doug Marrone?
Doug Marrone, correct. Who was the head coach of the Green Bay Packers when they won the Super Bowl at Super Bowl 45?
Mike McCarthy.
Correct. Which NFL team plays its home games at First Energy Stadium?
First Energy Stadium. Oh, I should know that. Okay, I'm going to pass that one.
Pass. Which quarterback has the most career playoff wins?
It's got to be Brady.
Tom Brady. Who was the MVP of Super Bowl 34?
Oh, man. I'm not even sure who was in that. I'm going to just take a wild guess at Montana.
No, it was Kurt Warner. Right,
Okay.
that's a right idea though. Which team did the no-name defense belong to?
Pass.
Who was the first overall pick in the 2012 NFL Draft?
Cam Newton.
Andrew Luck.
That was luck.
And which team in the NFC East has the most Super Bowl victories?
Patriots.
NFC East.
Oh, NFC. Sorry, Cowboys.
That was my fault. A terrible accent for the question, but that's 2 minutes, so Spot on, we'll give you that because, AFC East, NFC East, that's me. But yeah, Cowboys is their answer. I've snuck, you see how I've snuck a couple of like positive Cowboys questions in here, isn't it?
Love it.
Yeah. But yeah, great. Another great run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 in the second round, 8 in the first one, 15, and that's going to be a real competitive score. So well done, Jay. Couple of ones you passed on. Eagles won their first Super Bowl in 2018. And they beat
Oh,
the
that was
Patriots.
their first. Right, yeah. I was like, am I missing something? You know, you're on the clock and...
Yeah, it's hard to process. I think also the Super Bowl questions are hard as well because it's always talking about the Super Bowl numbers and stuff as well, which
Yeah.
throws out the years, which is stuff. But yeah, Nick Foles, Philly Special,
Yeah.
that was the one, 2018. First Energy Stadium, it's home to the Cleveland Browns.
Here's the Browns, yeah.
The no-name defense is the Dolphins. That's an older question. That
Okay, I wouldn't have got that one for sure. Yeah.
And yeah, it's a couple you were real close on. So first overall pick 2012 was Luck. Cam Newton was the year before. And then, yeah, the two teams that were added to the 95 expansion. So it was the Jaguars, which you got right, but the other one was the Panthers. Panthers and the Jaguars. And the Texans was like 2002, I think, maybe.
Got it.
Yeah, a few years after. But 15. Got to be
Okay.
happy with 15.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you got eight out of, again, I think 7 out of 13 in that one as well. So 7 out of 13 second time, 8 out of 13 first time. I think that's a very respectable effort, Jay.
good stuff. So I won't be on the bloopers, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's it. I was speaking to one of the other guys taking part in this, Fletch. His aim was to not make a tit of himself. That was his aim coming in.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
if that was your aim as well, Jay, you've definitely surpassed it. Some great knowledge on the show, so well done. We'll see if it's enough to win, though. We've got obviously the final person to come, and we'll see if they can beat your score of 15. Give us a reminder, Jay, where we can follow and watch and listen to Fourth and Gold podcast.
Yep, so it's the Fourth and Gold NFL podcast on Instagram, on YouTube. Obviously, during the season, we will be very, very active, but we're trying to fill the off season as Paul is doing as well. So yeah, please check us out.
Excellent. Make sure you all give the guys a follow. Good luck, and we'll see, like I say, Jay, if you are going to be getting through to the grand final or not in just a few minutes' time.
Look forward to hearing.
So there it is. Jay is the leader in the clubhouse so far with 15. Andy Davies is our last participant for the general knowledge round. Andy scored 10 in his specialist subject round. He needs 6 to win. Can he do it and win? Good teams win, great teams cover. NFL Mastermind Heat 1. Let's find out. Welcome back to Andy. We're here for our general knowledge round. Your second part, Andy. How did you feel the first round went? You've got 10 points on the board. Solid, very good start, I think. More than solid. How are you feeling about the general knowledge side of it now?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the first round went. I'm kicking myself at the U2 one because that's one I really should have known. I've watched that halftime show a bunch of times, but I think I'll say in Tube as well that I think because it's, for example, like the 2001 season, it's a 2002 when a Super Bowl is, and that always throws me off when it comes to these questions. But I can't really complain. 10 out of 15 is pretty good. I mean, trying to gauge what normally I see on the TV show the first round, and that sounds about what people normally get from memory. And yeah, general knowledge, I feel like there's probably more questions that I wouldn't know. Maybe some questions that I haven't thought about as much because when you're planning Super Bowl questions, in your sort of preparing for the episode, you don't know what you're going to get general questions wise. So yeah, I'm intrigued what I'm going to get, but I'm excited as well.
Yeah, I think the nature as well is we've tried to keep any Super Bowl related questions out of your general knowledge side of things, just because it's your specialist subject. I don't think we've managed it. I think there might be one that snuck in there. So, but look, you've got 10 on the board, a great start. I think you've got a strong general knowledge round here, and you've got a great chance of getting to the grand final. Because of course, that's what everybody wants, to win the heat and get to the grand final, right? And do it all again.
We get a prize at the end if you get through to the final and win. Is there a prize to try and aim for at the end?
Just pride, I think, is all right, and just the knowledge that you've bested 15 other
I'll take that.
UK NFL content creators in a battle of wits and knowledge. So, which I think is a pretty good prize, to be fair.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, that's it's more than enough.
It can go in your Twitter bio. That's the prize, right? Andy, right? Yeah, NFL general knowledge might be a bit tougher because it's so wide ranging. But let's see how you get on. 2 minutes on general knowledge of the NFL. Are you ready to roll?
I'm ready.
Excellent, good stuff. I think the first one might be a bit easy as well, actually. Let's go. Which NFL team is known as America's team?
Dallas Cowboys.
Who was the MVP of the 2019 NFL season?
Patrick Mahomes.
It was Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
Who was the first tight end inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Tony Gonzalez.
It was Mike Ditka.
Oh, I was going to say him. Oh.
Which player has the most career rushing touchdowns?
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, correct. Who was the first overall pick in the 1983 NFL draft?
John Elway.
Oh, spot on. Which team did Deion Sanders play for when he won his first Super Bowl?
The 49ers.
San Francisco 49ers. Which team did the Monsters of the Midway refer to?
Chicago Bears.
Which player has the most passing yards in a single season?
Peyton Manning.
Correct. Who was the first African-American head coach to win a Super Bowl?
Tony Dungy.
Tony Dungy, correct. Who was the head coach of the Buffalo Bills during their 4 consecutive Super Bowl appearances?
Mark Levy.
Spot on, Marv Levy will take it. Who is the all-time leader in passing touchdowns for the Baltimore Ravens?
Joe Flacco.
Correct. Which Pittsburgh Steelers player is known for the immaculate reception?
Oh, pass. That's gonna bug me.
Who holds the record for the most career rushing touchdowns in a single season?
Barry Sanders.
It's LaDainian Tomlinson.
Oh, of course.
Which NFL team has the nickname Dirty Birds?
Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons. Which player has the most receiving yards in a single season for the Chicago Bears?
Pass.
And which team in the AFC West has the most Super Bowl appearances?
Denver Broncos.
Correct. That was the last question. Spot on, just a shade over 2 minutes. You smashed it again there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 again, Andy. Incredible stuff. 10 in the first round, 10 in the general knowledge round.
I will take that.
You were flying at one stage. I think you got like 6 or 7 in a row.
There was one I passed. I forgot what it is now. That really bugged me. The Damian Thompson one. I should have got that one. And the first two, there was the one, the MVP in the 2019. That one. If I lose by 1 point, that's the one that's really going to bug me, because that's not even one I can say that was before my time. That's prime in my NFL fandom.
Yeah. Well, even there's some older questions in there that you got as well. So it was Lamar Jackson was the 2019 MVP. Mike Ditka, the old famous Chicago Bears coach as well. They ended up being like 3 Chicago Bears questions in there, inadvertently. The ones that you passed, Franco Harris was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, yeah, that
was reception. And Brandon Marshall is the single season receiving yards leader for the Bears. 1,508 yards in 2012. 10. Outstanding stuff. He had a run of 7 correct answers in a row, which is great considering, it's all such a wide-ranging run of questions. And you must be feeling pretty confident sat on 20 after 2 rounds, Andy. That feels like that's definitely in the mix for a winning score.
I don't want to get my hopes up too much and say it, because I did this in 2013-14 when Liverpool were about to win the league and then Gerrard flipped. So I'm never gonna, get myself too hyped up. But I'm happy with it. Even if I don't make it through, then I feel like I've given a good account myself. But I'm hoping that hopefully that'll be enough. But I can't be sure. But I'm fingers crossed. I don't know who your guests are. I don't know who your guests are yet.
Well, yes. You're going up against. We had Neil from the Talkin Balls podcast, the guys over in Ireland. We've got Fletch, big Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah.
Of course, as well. And we've got one of the guys from the 4th and Goal podcast as well. So, tough competition. Tough competition. But I feel like 20's right there.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a real tough score to beat.
Neil is, I think that Neil, I can imagine. Don't know whether he's been on your show yet, but Neil is one. I think that's going to be he's going to be a tough contender. I think Fletch as well. Haven't got to know Fletch. He's got to be one as well. Don't know the 4th and Goal guys as much, but no.
It's tough. I think it's going to be real, like in the clubhouse with 20. And it's a real good score, Andy. So, congrats. Thank you very much for taking part. One last reminder, where can we find all the stuff that you're working on at the minute, and where can we give you a follow?
So if you want to follow me, my Twitter handle, or X handle, is Andy Davies Sport, and that is Davies with an E, not without an E. Also, if you want to follow me on TikTok, it's Andy Talks NFL, and also my podcast is on Twitter and Instagram, _the_pod. So check it out if you want to give us a follow. We've got some good things to look forward to coming up in the next 6 to 8 months. We did have a Pro Football Hall of Famer due to come on the show, but they did bail. So that was something I was really looking forward to potentially sharing on the podcast. But that has fallen. What's the word? It's not going to happen, basically. So that was something I was looking forward to sharing. But either way, got some good stuff to look forward to. Some good off-season content, like I mentioned earlier, to look forward to. Hopefully, provided time commitments aren't a thing, we're doing a season preview for every team with a fan of every team. And just then heading on to the season, then our annual season predictions, and then annual week reviews, week previews, and all that jazz.
With no doubt, we'll see you either in Dublin or down at one of the London games, or hopefully Madrid. I think if it ends up Dolphins Saints, I'm going to end up in Madrid. So we'll hopefully see you there.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope it's someone crap, because I've seen my team play 8 times. We never won a game. So I'm hoping it's the Saints. I'll take that if it's the Saints, because that'll be my best chance of seeing us win, because I think the Saints could be really bad this year. So that's my hope, but who knows?
Excellent. Well, sit tight. Hopefully we'll see if you're going to be going on to the grand final or not at the end of the episode. But thanks for taking part, Andy. We appreciate you, and we'll see you soon. And there we have it. Andy Davies is our winner of Heat 1 of the Good Teams Win Great Teams cover NFL Mastermind with a fantastic score of 20, 10 in his specialist subject round, 10 again in the NFL general knowledge round. Great work from Andy. Some great answers all round from everyone involved. It was very tricky. I'm sure you could see if you're following along. How many did you get? It was very tough ask for the guys, but yeah, congratulations to all 4 guys for taking part, and we appreciate them putting their head up to get shot at from an NFL knowledge perspective. And it was great. For commiserations to Jay from the Fourth and Goal podcast, Fletch from the Sleep at Work Network, and Neil from the Talking Balls podcast over in Ireland. Go give all those guys a follow and support, and we will see Andy in our grand final at some point in the summer. Who's going to join him? We'll find out. There's 3 heats left to go. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching along. We hope you've enjoyed this new endeavour of ours. It's the first time we've tried any real trivia. Good Teams Win Great Teams cover. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, give us a follow. Good Teams Win Great Teams cover. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Overcast, and Podbean. The video version also available on YouTube. Subscribe if you can. That would be great. Just helps our channels and get more access and more ears listening and eyes watching. And also give us a follow on our social media channels, X, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at GTW_GTC. And we'll see you next week for Heat 2.